Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be going over Walking Wake, and I have an outline today, which so hopefully that should help it be a bit better of a video than it has been. Alright, so to start off with Walking Wake, Water Dragon is an absolutely fantastic typing. It is really, really good. Like, there are very, very few Pokemon with it as well. I know that Palkia is Water Dragon, but honestly, I'm not sure what else is a Water Dragon. I don't think there's anything else that's any good that's a Water Dragon for sure. Moving on to the stats, it's fast. Like 109 is a good speed stat. It is very good. You're going to be outspeeding the vast majority of stuff, but you're not going to be outspeeding like the Flutter Mains, the Xianpaos, or like most of the restricteds. So that's something to keep in mind. So you're going to be out. So you're probably always going to be run, maybe not max speed, but quite a lot of speed in it because you're going to outspeed quite a lot of things with this. Special attack of 125 is very good. HP is good. Defenses aren't the like special. It's a little frail on the special defense side, but honestly, like it's not bad at all. It's definitely going to take like at least 2 hits to take it out. So, and for an offensive Pokemon, that's pretty good, honestly. So, move pool. The move pool is where this thing really shines. First of all, it's got this signature move, Hydro Steam, and it's a water type move, a special water type move, but it gets a boost in the sun instead of being reduced in the sun, which I believe that actually Volcanion signature move does the same thing, but Volcanion is illegal, so like it doesn't really matter. But you see as a so first of all, fantastic signature move. Second of all, like flamethrower, just honestly lots of good moves like chilling water if you want to run like assault vest or like some more supportive style. You've got snarl, dragon dance, but it's a special attacker, so you probably never use it anyway. Substitute is very interesting. I think this could be a very good substitute Pokemon. And then you also have Hurricane, which if you are running it in the rain, which obviously it can go very well in the rain, it's a water type. That is like not weak to electric or grass, which is very strong. So I think it definitely has a place in rain teams, especially with like Hurricane. You're probably never running Scald just because I think even though Scald is good, I think that Hydro Steam is just significantly better. So you also have a Flip Turn, which is like obviously it's not doing very much damage, but just having a switch out move is very nice, especially if you're running Specs or some move like that. Now, and as far as abilities go, it's got Photosynthesis, which means obviously all the ancient Pokemon have this ability, which means, I mean, this thing is, it's just the best water type Pokemon for a Sun team, like hands down. Like it's just, it is actually, and number 2, I don't even know what it is. It's like it's not close. Like this is the premier Pokemon for the premier water Pokemon for a Sun team. All right. Oh, here we are. So I got some sets here that I would recommend. One, we got Choice Specs. Like this thing, 125 special attack is already going to be dealing a good amount of damage. So, like, it's just a good amount of damage. And when you add Choice Specs on top of that, it's going to be dealing a lot. And the Choice Specs also, like, there's so many moves this thing can run that it feels like you're not missing anything. Like you could run like Flip Turn. Like you can't like you're going to have more than 4 moves you're going to want to run on this thing at like basically all times. So like choosing the correct move pool is going to be probably a little bit of a pain, but I mean you're always having Hydro Steam. You probably most of the time want a Dragon move, but you probably always want a Dragon move. Like Flamethrower is great coverage for grass types and actually pretty much just grass types. But Hurricane you could also run if you're on a rain team. I think one of the coolest things about Walking Wake is that it functions very well in both the rain because it has a basically unique typing that is just really good for rain teams because you don't, like I said earlier, you're not weak to electric and you're not weak to grass, which are two major problems with rain teams oftentimes. And all right, so next set I have here is Assault Vest set. I mean, obviously, most of the time I think you're going to be wanting to run like pretty close to max speed, or try to just. You could also run not max speed and just try to like EV to outspeed a certain Pokemon like slightly slower than you, like maybe Garchomp, because Garchomp is 102. Garchomp's either 101 or 102. But so you're like, so you might like always EV to outspeed it or something like that, or something similar to that. So with Assault Vest, once again, you just have a lot of good moves that you want to run, and Assault Vest benefits you in this regard because you're not running Protect, and you're getting a benefit. You basically not running. You're not really being punished by not running Protect because you're getting a benefit for not being able to. And when you have so many good moves already on a Pokemon, then oftentimes Protecting gets pushed to the wayside anyway. So I think Assault Vest is definitely a good choice here. Snarl is also just a very good supporting move. Snarl, I think, is underrated. Like, not a ton of Pokemon get it, but it's just, in my opinion, a very strong move, being able to lower the special attack of both your opponent's Pokemon, especially when you have like Intimidate on your team. So you have a way to AoE lower both your opponent's offenses, as well as the fact that oftentimes, like Ghost, things that hit Ghost for super effective are oftentimes hard to find. And even though Snarl is like a weak move, and it's only 55 base power and it's a spread move, so it's doing even less, it isn't like that bad. One, because like Walking Wake just hits really hard, and two, because like it's weak to it, obviously. And this, if I was to run Walking Wake, this is probably what I would run. Maybe like you could probably replace Booster Energy with like Life Orb or another offense boosting thing. But I think, in my opinion, that Substitute is just a very good move in general. Like Protect, Substitute, Hydro Steam, and then +1 as a coverage. So either Dragon Pulse or Flamethrower. The fact that you can run this in a dual weather team with both rain and sun, and have a Pokemon that is good no matter what weather is out, is just, I mean, it's the biggest strength of this Pokemon, quite clearly. As far as Terra types go, there's a lot of different ones. I would either recommend just like straight water type, just for that like double stab, because Hydro Steam is such a good move. However, you could run Poison to resist your like fairy weaknesses. You can run Steel to resist both dragon and fairy. There are just a lot of good moves here. And personally, I would probably be running. You'd run Ghost to become immune to Fake Out. There's a lot of options. Pretty much every Pokemon is going to work. I mean, not every Pokemon. Pretty much every. There are at least 3 or 4 good Terra types that you could be running on Walking Lake. All right, now moving on. What goes well with Walking Lake? Now, obviously, like if you go on Pikalytics, the 2 biggest like teammates for Walking Wake are Groudon and Koraidon. I don't think anyone is surprised by that. It's by far the best water type for a Sun team, and it's not close. However, I also think that there's definitely potential to be running like Koraidon, Kyogre, and just have a Pokemon that goes well with both of them. I think that if you look at results from older Pokemon games, Dual Weather is like always performed very well. It is not until like honestly very recently that people aren't running Dual Weather. But I think Dual Weather definitely has a place in Pokemon even today. Now, obviously, like I mean, Tailwind is going to be very good for Walking Lake. Tailwind is obviously going to be very good for like the vast majority of Pokemon. But taking that speed stat, and that's just it's fast, but it's not like as fast as the top threats. And just saying, okay, now I hit for super hard and I'm faster than you is very strong. So Yeah, so I would recommend Tailwind and Sun 100% on a Walking Wake team, and Rain I would also recommend. So Sun, Rain, and Tailwind. Okay, what are so for EV spreads? Like, what are people running? Uh, like almost always it's max speed. Like there's a few times where people like drop a few speed points for something else, but almost always it's max speed. Once again, I think it would be smart to to outspeed something specifically below, like for example, Garchomp, or well, let's see, Walking Wake, like EVing to outspeed. A lot of these Pokemon are really not any good. EVing to outspeed once again. Garchomp 102 speed. Okay, it does 102. Landorus, Chiyu. Like you're not outspeeding everything, but you are speeding. There are a lot of good Pokemon that you are outspeeding. Salamence, like I don't actually know how good Salamence is right now anyway, but you can have EV to outspeed it if you want. I would recommend either Garchomp, probably just Garchomp because it's only going to take a couple. Like with outspeeding Garchomp, you're also outspeeding Landorus, and I think these are two pretty major Pokemon you want to be outspeeding anyway. So yeah. All right, so and most of the time I would probably recommend like max special attack just to like be doing as much damage as possible, with the rest like probably just pumped into HP. So overall, Walking Wake is like a very good Pokemon, and the typing is great. The stats are like really good. The ability is honestly, man, I don't actually think photosynthesis is that good of an ability as a tongue twister. But between the move pool, the typing, and the stats, it really does make up for the lack of real ability. In Sun, it definitely feels like a real ability, but like the thing about it is that the special attack stat is of 125 is pretty much always going to be higher than your speed stat of 109, unless you're like very specifically EVing to make it like you have like 1 point more speed. So you're pretty much always going to end up with special attack booster, which I think is good. But I also don't think it's as good as speed booster. So like you could like mess around with it to try to always get speed booster, but I think running Tailwind is just simpler. All right, so I found this like thing on tiermaker.com. Anyway, it's like they're supposed to have like every Pokemon on it. And I figured every time we do one of these Pokemon videos, I could just like add whatever Pokemon we ranked onto this. So I added Raging Bolt because that's what we did last time for the first time. So Raging Bolt, it's like I don't think Raging Bolt is meta defining. It doesn't like form the meta around it, but it does definitely have to be respected. And it's if I ever see a Raging Bolt, I'm not going to be like, why is that here? Like it's always going to be good. On the other hand, Walking Wake I would say is slightly weaker just because you do have to build around it. It's going to hit harder and it's faster than Raging Bolt. But I would say even though Hydro Steam is a very, very strong move, I actually think that Thunderclap is a better signature move. And I'd say their typings are very similar. Anyway, I think really just because Walking Wake needs weather to actually feel like you're getting what it is meant to be. Like it really is just a weather Pokemon. So you kind of have to build it on a team with weather, whereas Raging Bolt can go on almost any team. Like I'm never like, oh, why is Raging Bolt here? I'm always like, I have to respect this thing. So I would say it is worse than Raging Bolt, but it's still a very strong Pokemon. All right, so I did Raging Bolt because I think it's like kind of a cool Pokemon, and I did Walking Wake because I think it's kind of a cool Pokemon, and I think it's underplayed. You can see here that it's on approximately 1% of teams. It's it's ranked 50th on Picolytics currently, and I think it's just underplayed. And now that I've done Walking Wake and Raging Bolt, I think I want to do Raging Fire. Raging Fire? What the heck is that thing called? No, it's not Raging Fire, it's Burning Bulwark. Where's Burning Bulwark? Burning Bulwark. That's his signature move? Gouging Fire. Okay. Anyway, I think I want to do Gouging Fire next video. Comment down below if you have any specific Pokemon that you want me to review. I'm also going to look into doing other types of content as well. I think I would like to start doing, not really reacting, but analyzing some VGC matches. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and ETH out.